we were at Dover one time. This is sometime in the 80s. And the Busch Grand National cars had to park up on the dog track, which is a sandy old dirty place. You're laid around in the sand, right, working on these cars. They didn't have the Busch, they didn't have the separate garages like they do now in turn four. So anyhow, we run the race that Saturday, and I forget how we did, but anyhow, I'm up there and I get my car loaded and all that, and I go down through there. I was getting ready to leave, and I see Davey had been in a wreck, and his car was tore all to pieces. And Davey had his car there at the trailer, and it was so tore up he couldn't get the thing loaded, and he was under the car. They had it jacked up. He was under there and had it torched. So I just stopped, got out, and I got under there with him, right? And we started cutting and beating, and finally got his old bucket of bolts loaded up, right? So that was that was really my first time of interacting with Davey, right? So over time we kind of became pretty good buddies. We go to New Hampshire, whatever year it was, and he and I are walking out of the garage area together, going down pit road for driving. No, we've already done it. We go to get in our race cars, and we're walking along, and they start playing music, and he stops and he grabs me. Stop, dummy! What? It's national anthem. I said, that's Canadian national anthem. He said, don't matter. Stop. You respect it. I said, all right. So we stood there. Then they did national anthem, went on, and got to my car. We shook hands. Good luck, Rick. All right, David. Good luck, buddy. See you next week. All right. I get in my car. All right. Get the window net up. All of a sudden, an official comes and looks in at through the net at me. He says, Rick. I said, yeah. Got an emergency phone call from you from home. I was like, what's that? He said, the call said your house is on fire. I'm like, okay. I'm sitting there and I'm like, what am I going to do? My house is on fire, right? So anyhow, we run the race and come home that night. We had stayed in a motel. The fire had been in the kitchen. My dad had been there watering the shrubs, and it blew out a window. And the local fire department came. I mean, these guys. The story goes, two of them come on a four-wheeler, one of them come on a horse, right? But the firehouse is only like a quarter of a mile down the road. But these guys on Sundays they would ride horses and ride four-wheelers and stuff. But anyhow, they got the fire knocked out. So we go in there Monday. We stayed in a motel that night. We go there Monday morning, and of course the kitchen's gutted, and a lot of the stuff in the house is heat melted. It's really a mess. And sometime I get a phone call, and they tell me Davey had wrecked his helicopter in Talladega, and didn't know anything more about it. So I spent that evening and that night trying to get more information. And I finally got through to somebody that evening, and they said, we're not sure, but they're being real quiet, but we don't think it's good. So the next morning, we go into the house, and the fire marshal's there, the insurance adjuster's there, and we're walking through, and basically everything in the house has to be replaced or be rebuilt. And the insurance adjuster and me start talking about like the value of the TV, right? Or the value of electronics. And really we start getting antagonistic with each other because he's trying to beat me down and I'm starting to get pissed off. And this is before, come to find out, I had a replacement cost on my insurance. So everybody out there, if you've got a home mortgage or insurance, make sure you've got replacement costs. It doesn't cost, I think it was like $35 a year, and you don't have to argue if you lose your stuff. If you got $1,000 TV, when you buy it, they replace it with a $1,500 TV if it's the same like kind, right? So that's for you fans to know this. Just do it. If you don't check it. So anyhow, we're kind of starting to get argumentative, and the fire marshal's trying to figure out what started the fire, and all this is going on. I'm mad anyhow. I get a phone call. Hey Rick, yeah, we lost Davey. What? We lost Davey this morning. I'm like, okay. I hang the phone up. I stand there, for a little bit. I look around at that agent and that fire marshal, and Sharon, my wife's with me. I said, let me tell you guys something. I said, I don't have a problem in the world. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. Just let me know when you're finished. I said, come on, Sharon. And I walked out the door, right? And never once thought about the value of that television or the hardship that my burnt house has put me and my family through. It just, it never occurred to me again to have a problem. But that was that was a sad, sad day for me, you know. But he was such a good guy, man. Just a good guy, and a talent taken from our sport that would have done so much.